So I'm Kenny. I'm a blockchain solution engineer at Polygon, also a front-end developer. So that is one of the reasons I will be talking about a front-end developer guide to Web3. Currently, we have three phases of internet. So we have the Web 1, we have the Web 2, we have Web 3. So when we talk about Web 1, that is when those ages whereby you can only read on the internet. You don't have the autonomy of writing anything on the internet. You can only read on the internet. I want to talk about Web 2, which is one of the current stages we have right now. Where you see people writing, reading, and also, so that is where you have like YouTube, Twitter, and the rest. Whereby when you read something on the internet, you can also write, like comment or repost. Yeah, so that is what we have in Web 2. And when we talk about Web 3, that is when we try to bring the blockchain into it, the decentralization part. So we're mostly, anytime you hear about Web 3, what we're trying to preach is the decentralized part. So let's talk about blockchain. So what is blockchain? As I said earlier, blockchain is like a decentralized ledger where you store information and the rest. So we have distributed database, we have the block link, and we have the consensus. So I would love to talk about Polygon a little bit. So Polygon is a scaling solution for Ethereum. So we are leading platform for Ethereum scaling infrastructure development, provide L2 solutions. So Polygon provides lots of solutions like zkVM, Polygon ID, Polygon Edge, Polygon SuperNet, and the rest. So what we're doing is we are a scaling solution for Ethereum. What most people know about Ethereum is probably the crypto space. If you are conversant with crypto space, you hear about Ethereum a lot. But the thing is that Ethereum is like a company called Ethereum Foundation. They are a company. The name of the crypto is called Ether, but there is like a misconception. Almost everyone, if you tell them, okay, do you know Ethereum? They say yes. What is Ethereum? It's a coin. Actually, the name of the coin is Ether. The foundation is Ethereum, just like Polygon. So we have Polygon, we have Matic, which is the coin for Polygon, and we have Binance also. You have BNB, you have BSC. So Ethereum Foundation, they have a platform called EVM, which is a platform where you can run smart contracts, you can run codes, like you write JavaScript, you deploy a Vercel, you write stuff, so just like that. So it's like a cloud computing stuff, a cloud computer. They can run anything. You just have to give it your code, your logic, and to run it for you. So that is what the Ethereum Foundation, that is what they provide. They provide for the community. But the thing about Ethereum is that it is not very, like, there are so many issues wrong with Ethereum. Number one is on the blockchain, if you are trying to build on the blockchain, you have to pay a certain fee, which is called gas. So gas, we are not going to look into the main infrastructure of gas. Just know that gas is a fee that you pay to run a transaction on the blockchain. And also, so when we're talking about Ethereum, to perform a transaction on Ethereum, the amount of gas you have to pay is quite high. Just and when you look at the value of the transaction you are trying to do, let's say an example, you are trying to mint an NFT, and you want to mint an NFT, and you are quite required to pay, like, let's say $5 just to mint an NFT, which is quite odd. Like, why would I pay $5 to mint an NFT? How much is the NFT? Just saying it. So when you look at the economical value and what you are trying, the transaction you are trying to perform on the chain, you just see that, oh, this is not something I can do. You probably want to go to another chain. And so what we are doing in Polygon, we are trying to scale Ethereum in terms of the gas price. So on Polygon right now, the gas price is very low. Like, if you are deploying or building on Polygon, you will hardly spend up to $0.1 just to perform a transaction. That's just it. So, and also the amount of transaction that can be processed on Ethereum is limited. Like, Ethereum is also slow, but when it comes to Polygon, you can perform like thousands of transactions in a second. So that's it. So Polygon is an L2. So we have L1. This is Ethereum, the others are. We have L2. So that is where Polygon is. So Polygon is providing a scaling solution to Ethereum, to build on Ethereum. So and we have, so I already said we have so many products like zkVM, the Polygon ID, and the rest. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be talking about as for the topic, which is building a decentralized app on Polygon. So I'm a front-end developer. I love front-end. I write React, I write JavaScript, I write anything front-end stuff. But when you look at the Web3 space, and people are like, oh, I want to transition into the space. I want to be a blockchain developer and the rest. I always advise if I were to developer and you want to build on Polygon, like you want to transition to the blockchain space, the Web3 space, you don't really have to start learning smart contracts. And what smart contracts? Smart contracts is the language. Smart contract is what you write, you deploy on the EVM. There are set of codes that runs on the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. So if you want to write smart contract, you can either use Solidity, Viper, and the rest. So people that just started, that are trying to transition to the Web3 space, they always go to learning what they call it, Solidity, so that they can be able to deploy something on the EVM. But I will always advise if you are a front-end developer, you are UI UX designer and everything, there's always a role even in a Web3 company, in a blockchain company, you definitely need a front-end developer in a Web3 company, because once you're done writing the smart contract, you have to interact with it. It's just like a backend. Your backend is useless if you don't have a front end to interact with it. Or your backend if people cannot actually interact with your infrastructure. So what you should know as a front end developer, I don't know, do you have front end developer here? Yeah, thank you, my guys. And yeah, there's backend. Backend also. Yeah, thank you. So if you're a front-end developer and you are trying to build, just like a developer, you are trying to build on a DApp, a decentralized app, the thing you should know is that there's actually not much difference when you are building on the Web2 space and when you are building on the Web3 space. There's a little difference when it comes to the front-end part, the UI UX part, and also the only difference is the back-end part, because the EVM, most people will want to run on the EVM. You can't deploy Go on the EVM. You can't deploy Python. You can't deploy JavaScript or the rest. You have to write in Solidity. That is only where the issue, and that's actually is when you are trying to write the backend. So that is, but as a front-end developer, the same skill you use in the Web2 space, you can use it in the Web3 space. So that is the thing I just want to say about the front-end. Yeah, so smart contract, I think I talked about this later. So just a set of code you deploy on the EVM, just certain types. So this is what you want. Just the way you write JavaScript, TypeScript, that's the same way you write it. Just the syntax are different. So the language, we have the Solidity, Rust, and Viper. So how do we interact with the blockchain? So there's so many ways to interact with the blockchain, but one thing you should know, like one of the most important things you should know when you're trying to interact with the blockchain is you have to have a wallet. So a wallet, this is an infrastructure whereby you save all user data. As a front-end developer, if I want to build any website or any project, I always advise people to add login with Google. You know, people even want to log in on any platform, and you see login with Google, you will actually want to go for just log in with Google, and you already get started. So when you log in with Google, Google will send your data, your information to the project you are trying to interact with, just like wallets. So wallets is an infrastructure. So we have the hardware wallets and we have the software wallets. Just like so, software wallets are MetaMask, Trust wallets, Binance. But Binance is like it is a non-custodian, while Trust Wallet is a custodian because you are the owner of your stuff. But Binance is the one taking care of your stuff for you. So a wallet is just something that holds the user's information on the blockchain. So you have all data. So you have a unique address called the wallet address, whereby is unique, so there cannot be two of that wallet, of that address. So anytime you go to a dApp and you come, they ask for your wallet and they interact with your wallet, they actually know that, okay, this is the person that is talking with us, and these are the information he has on this wallet. Yeah, so connecting blockchain to the front end. So when you write your blockchain, when you write your smart contract finish, just like backend, when you're done writing your smart backend, you will actually, for your users, or people out there that you want them to interact with your products. You will want to give them a front end, like a website. For every website, you have a back end, you interact with the back end and the stuff. So in this case, end is a smart contract whereby you have written all your code. Okay, this is what you want to use, how you do everything. So if you want to interact with the backend from a front end perspective, so when we talk about decentralization, that means it is immutable. Like once you deploy something on a smart contract, once you deploy it on the blockchain, it cannot change. So that's one of the reasons why people love blockchain, and also it is transparent. If you have my address, my public ETH address, and go to an explorer, you can know all the coin I have. So what if you like? So it is very transparent. People know that okay, this is what is going on. Even if Elon Musk or anybody has a public as an address, Elon Musk's address, you can literally trace how Elon Musk is spending his money on the blockchain. So that is one of the reasons why people love it, and that's what the beauty of digitalization. There is no hidden stuff. You will definitely see this. So when we talk about contracts, these are just certain things that you've written that, okay, on this particular date, you want this particular person to send this particular fund to a certain person, and you have locked it. There's no once you deploy it, there's no amount of thing you can do to that contract. It will never change until it has sent it to the person. So it is not like the Web2 space that you can still go to the back and have an admin access and change it. No, once you have written the rule and it was audited, like, oh, this is a very good one. There's nothing that there's no exploit. Though, yeah, there's exploit in smart contract, just like any other language. You can exploit, but there's no exploit. There's nothing you can do. Once you deploy it, it is gone. It will do what you want to do. That's the beauty of digitalization, the beauty of the immutability. You cannot change it. So when we now talk about having a front end and connect it to this contract, there are so many ways to interact with the contract. But the best way to interact with the contract is to connect it to the front end. The other way is to use an explorer, which all networks like Polygon, Ethereum, BSC, Solana, all of them, they have an explorer, which is like a front end also. But for people like us, it is very, like for most people, it is very hard and it is not even advisable. An example, you are trying to transfer, you have a platform that transfer funds or help people to stake their crypto or anything on the blockchain. It is not advisable to send people like your users to the explorer to be interacting with the contract. They don't know what to interact with them. They would see, they're like, what is it? So it is your own sole responsibility to provide a front end, a very good front end, interact with the contract. Yeah, so there are so many ways we can interact with the contract. So there are so many libraries. So once you have deployed your stuff, your contract on the blockchain, there are so many libraries, just like any other libraries. As a front end, for me, I like using libraries. I don't care. When you check my package.json, you see a lot of libraries over there. So there's this library called WAGME, one of package I always recommend. If you use WAGME, they have a good documentation also. They show you how you so these are just some of the code snippets. So it's very simple and easy to read. The Web2 space, when you want to connect with your backend, you need an API from a backend developer. But in the blockchain space, the only thing you need is an API. So the API is application binary interface. When you deploy your contracts on the blockchain, you are given an API. So the API has all the information of your data, of your contracts that you deployed online. So this is the only thing and the contract address that you need when you want to deploy, when you want to interact with a contract on the blockchain. So front-end development remains in Web3 remains the same. The shift in mindset from the HTTP request to API code to call smart contracts, what I just applied, and mutation costs money. Yeah, on the Web2 space, you don't pay money, like you don't pay gas fee to interact with your stuff, with your contract. But in the blockchain, you have to pay a gas fee to perform a transaction. So if you want to know more about Polygon, you can follow Polygon. So they have Polygon there and follow. Yeah, this is my stuff on Twitter. Let's follow it. So Twitter is normal. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.